10 years ago today, 57 Hoboken residents lost their lives in the terrorist attacks on 9/11. We're here at Pier Park in Hoboken to remember these victims. Family and friends and residents have all gathered on this very emotional anniversary. The theme for this event is a time to come together, a time to remember.
The second, you shall love your neighbor as yourself.
Across the Hudson River, the Twin Towers Tribute in Light Memorial shone brightly behind the dignitaries and clergymen who were speaking at the Hoboken Memorial Ceremony. And they all remembered where they were on September 11, 2001. They shared some of their experiences and talked about the resiliency and giving spirit that Americans possessed after that infamous day 10 years ago and how it still exists today.
Well, I encourage Hoboken residents to think about how they, and if they're not already involved, I mean, I will say that so many Hoboken residents, it's what's so special about our community is so many Hoboken residents are involved in the community, are out there volunteering. I mean, just today, for example, the United Synagogue of Hoboken had a mitzvah day, and I was hoping to cut coupons for our troops overseas, and there's so many different ways that people are involved, but there's things through the city, and actually one of the things that I'm trying to do is expand our community emergency response team. Going to be doing another training program this fall, and so we'd love to have more volunteers for that. There's all kinds of ways to get involved, so I just encourage people to get involved in the community. It's a great way to get to know people as well.
Senator, you passed a moment of remembrance today at 1 o'clock. Can you tell us about that, please?
Yeah, I saw in my visits, one was to Israel, and I saw that they stopped at a moment, cars stopped on the highways, people got out and stood on the road, and I looked to find out what it was, and it turned out to be it's a remembrance of those who died in the Holocaust. And I thought here that this should never be forgotten, because not only was it the most painful experience that America had on its soil, and so I presented it to my colleagues in the Senate, and we got 100% of all the senators to support it. So it's been exercised. It was at 1 o'clock here, Eastern Standard Time, and it's throughout the country.
Although the memory of the attacks is not as acute as it was a decade ago, it is still just as painful for many Hoboken residents, especially those who lost loved ones, friends, or colleagues.
So I worked for a firm called Fred Alger Management, and it was in the 93rd floor of the first building that was hit. And we lost 35 people that I personally was friends with and knew very well. And it's been really difficult. This is the first time I've been able to actually come to a memorial service. But since it's the 10-year anniversary, I felt compelled to remember those lives, and so I came to share my memories of those people.
Americans' hearts may have been broken from these terrorist attacks, but their spirit was not. Hoboken residents are stronger today as a city and have a renewed faith and honor in their community.
Today's memorial service in Hoboken not only reflected on the lives of those who were lost on 9/11, but it also really stressed a sense of community and kindness toward one another. In back of me, there's a picture of a planned memorial in Hoboken, which will be oriented toward the World Trade Center site, and it will also be a constant reminder of that unity. For Hudson County TV, I'm Becca Fair.